Every flag tells a story, but the flag of the Philippines tells a story unlike any other. It is not just cloth. It is blood, it is sacrifice, it is hope. It is the voice of a people who fought against empire after empire and still raised their colors high. Yet behind its beauty are secrets many do not know. The blue that once matched the struggle of another nation. The sun that once shone only for 8 provinces. The stars that still spark debates even today. This is not just history. This is the story of freedom, resistance, and identity. And in this film, we will take you on a journey from ancient banners carried by tribal warriors to revolutionary flags stitched in exile, to the times when it was illegal, even dangerous, to raise the Philippine flag. Stay with us until the end, because this is more than the story of a symbol. It is the story of the Filipino soul. Before we dive in, if you believe the Philippine flag represents more than colors, if you believe its story must be remembered, then give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. Together, let's keep the spirit of history alive. Long before the Philippines had a national flag, its people already had symbols of pride, courage, and belonging. In the time before Spain came, over 7,000 islands were home to many different kingdoms, tribes, and communities. Each of them had their own banners. These were not national flags as we know today, but they carried meaning just as deep. The warriors of the Visayas raised red banners when they went to battle. In many parts of the islands, the color red was a sign of bravery, courage, and war. Villages painted symbols on shields and cloth to represent their clan, their ancestors, or their gods. Lapu-Lapu, the warrior who resisted Ferdinand Magellan in 1521, did not have the Philippine flag as we know it now. But he and his men carried weapons, painted shields, and tribal emblems that shouted, "This land is ours." Historians believe that when warriors sailed their boats, they used sails and banners marked with unique designs to show their identity. Some had images of crocodiles, birds, or the sun, symbols of strength and protection. Others used bright dyes from plants to show rank and courage. The flag as an idea was already alive even before the Philippines had a name. But soon colonizers would try to erase these symbols. In 1521, Magellan arrived, and by 1565, Spain had conquered Cebu. For the next 300 years, the islands were forced to bow under the flag of Spain, the red and gold banner with its coat of arms. Spanish authorities did not allow Filipinos to carry their own flags. They saw local banners as dangerous, as a threat to control. Only the Spanish crown had the right to fly a flag above forts, churches, and ships. But symbols cannot be erased so easily. In secret, Filipinos still carried tribal emblems. They painted the Baybayin script. They carved symbols on wood, and they passed stories of bravery through song and dance. In public, however, the Spanish flag ruled, and with it came centuries of oppression. By the late 1800s, something began to change. Education, travel, and exposure to new ideas woke many Filipinos. The propaganda movement in Spain, led by men like José Rizal and Marcelo H. del Pilar, called for reforms. They wrote books, newspapers, and speeches, but their movement did not yet have a flag. It was another group, the Katipunan, that would give birth to the first revolutionary banners. The Katipunan, a secret society founded by Andrés Bonifacio in 1892, used simple but powerful symbols. Their early flag was red with the letter K in white, standing for Kalayaan freedom. Some versions had 3 Ks, others had suns or triangles. The Katipunan's flags were stitched in secrecy, hidden from the Spanish Guardia Civil. To wave one in public was to risk death. But the red banner of the Katipunan spread quickly. It gave Filipinos a common symbol to rally around. For the first time, the idea of a Philippine flag was not just a dream. It was alive in the hands of revolutionaries. From the red banners of the Katipunan came the idea, but from Emilio Aguinaldo came the design. It was 1897. The revolution against Spain was raging. Aguinaldo, one of the leaders, fled into exile in Hong Kong after signing the Pact of Biak-na-Bato. But even in exile, he dreamed of independence. He knew that the revolution needed not only weapons, but also a flag, a true symbol of a nation. And so, in a small house in Hong Kong, a flag was born. Aguinaldo sketched a design, a white triangle, symbol of equality and brotherhood. A golden sun with rays for each of the 8 provinces that first rose against Spain: Manila, Cavite, Bulacan, Pampanga, Nueva Ecija, Bataan, Laguna, and Batangas. 3 stars for Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Blue for peace, truth, and justice. Red for patriotism and the blood of heroes. The sewing of the flag was entrusted to 3 women, Marcela Agoncillo, her daughter Lorenza, and Delfina Herbosa, the niece of Jose Rizal. They worked with care, using silk bought from Hong Kong shops. Imagine it, a group of exiles dreaming of freedom, sewing what would become one of the most recognized flags in Asia. This flag, stitched in secret and smuggled back to the Philippines, would soon fly in history's spotlight. It was May 28, 1898, in Cavite. The Philippine Revolutionary Army defeated the Spanish forces at the Battle of Alapan. For the first time, Aguinaldo's flag was raised in victory. Witnesses say the soldiers, weary but proud, stood tall as their new symbol waved in the wind. Less than a month later, on June 12, 1898, Aguinaldo declared Philippine independence in Kawit, Cavite. The balcony of his house was decorated. The music of Julian Felipe's composition, what would later be the Philippine national anthem, filled the air. And there, in front of Filipinos and foreign guests, the flag was unfurled. It was more than a piece of silk, it was a promise, a dream made visible. But the flag's story was far from peaceful. Even as it waved proudly, another empire was watching, the United States. At first, Americans claimed to help the Filipinos fight Spain. But soon it became clear, they wanted the Philippines for themselves. By 1899, war broke out between Filipinos and Americans. The Philippine flag, once raised in hope, became a target. The U.S. authorities even banned it, declaring it illegal to display the flag of the First Philippine Republic. To wave it in public was an act of rebellion. Yet in the hearts of Filipinos, it never disappeared. The Philippine flag has lived under many shadows. Under Spain, it was a dream. Under America, it was forbidden. During World War II, under Japan, it was manipulated. Each empire tried to use or suppress it, but each time the flag survived. When Japan invaded the Philippines in 1941, they briefly allowed the flag to be flown, hoping to use it to gain support. But Filipinos knew the truth. Their flag could never be controlled by outsiders. It was only in 1946, when independence was finally granted, that the Philippine flag could fly freely as the true symbol of a sovereign nation. From then on, it was no longer the flag of rebels, it was the flag of a republic. If you are proud of the Philippine flag and the history it carries, tap the like button right now. And let us know in the comments, what do you think is the most powerful part of the flag's story? Your voice matters in keeping history alive. The triangle stands for equality and brotherhood. It is said to be inspired by the Masonic emblem because many of the Philippine revolutionaries were Freemasons. To them, the triangle was more than geometry. It represented reason, freedom, and fraternity. The sun and its 8 rays. At the center is the golden sun. It is not just any sun, it has 8 rays. Each ray represents one of the first provinces that rose in rebellion against Spain in 1896: Manila, Cavite, Bulacan, Pampanga, Nueva Ecija, Bataan, Laguna, and Batangas. But the sun itself means more. To Filipinos, it is the light of freedom breaking through centuries of darkness, a sun that will never set. The 3 stars. The 3 stars stand for the 3 great island groups, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. But there have always been whispers of another meaning. Some claim that one star was originally meant for the island of Panay, not Visayas as a whole. Others argue that a 4th star should be added, for North Borneo, also called Sabah, which some Filipinos believe rightfully belongs to their nation. This debate continues even today. The colors of blue and red. Blue stands for peace, truth, and justice. Red stands for bravery and the willingness to shed blood for freedom. But here is a unique secret. The Philippine flag can change meaning when inverted. When the red stripe is on top, it means the nation is in a state of war. When the blue is on top, it means peace. It is one of the only national flags in the world with this dual identity, a flag that transforms with the nation's struggle. The hidden inspirations. Historians say the Philippine flag was inspired by the Cuban flag. Both nations were fighting colonial powers at the same time. Aguinaldo admired Cuba's struggle for independence and borrowed its spirit in creating the Filipino banner. In that sense, the flag is not just Filipino. It is connected to the global fight against colonialism, myths, and misunderstandings. Over the years, myths have grown around the flag. Some say the shade of blue was once sky blue, then navy blue, and debates have continued about which shade is correct. Others believe secret symbols were sewn into the first flag in Hong Kong, teeny stitches of resistance. But whether these stories are true or not, they reveal one thing. Filipinos see the flag not only as cloth, but as a living witness to their history. The flag is more than silk, more than color. It is blood, sacrifice, and dreams woven together. Every time it waves, it reminds Filipinos of the cost of freedom and the duty to protect it. If this part of the story gave you chills, click the like button right now and share this documentary with friends who love history, so they too can uncover the secrets of the Philippine flag. From the blood-soaked battlefields of the Revolution, to the ashes of war in World War II, to the streets filled with prayers during people power, the Philippine flag has never been just a piece of cloth. It is the story of the Filipino people, their pain, their courage, their sacrifices, and their hope. Every thread carries a memory. Every color carries a meaning. Every wave in the wind is a reminder. Freedom is never free. It was fought for, bled for, and died for, but most importantly, it is lived for. The flag today. In the 21st century, the Philippine flag continues to fly high, on battlefields where soldiers defend sovereignty, in schools where children recite their pledge, in Olympic arenas where Filipino athletes bring glory, and even in the hands of citizens demanding justice and equality. Wherever it waves, it speaks with one voice. I am the Philippines, I am every Filipino. I am the past, the present, and the future. The meaning for every Filipino. The flag is not just government property, it belongs to every citizen, to the farmer working under the hot sun, to the fisherman braving the waves at dawn, to the overseas worker sacrificing far from home, to the student dreaming of a brighter tomorrow. The flag lives in them all, because the nation lives in them all. The eternal flame. As long as the flag waves, the story of the Philippines continues. A story written not only by heroes of the past, but also by the heroes of today. Ordinary Filipinos who choose integrity, kindness, courage, and unity. The Philippine flag is not just the history of a nation. It is the heartbeat of its people. It is the eternal flame of freedom that must never be allowed to die. So the next time you see the Philippine flag waving in the wind, don't just see fabric, see your history, see your identity, see your future. Because the flag is not just the story of the Philippines, the flag is the story of you. If this story moved you, share it with others. Let the message of the flag spread far and wide. And don't forget to subscribe for more powerful deep dive documentaries that uncover the untold stories of nations, heroes, and people who shaped our world. Together, let's keep history alive.